guys, how are you? Hope you've had a great day, a great weekend. I was traveling, as you probably already know. I was in beautiful Gap, Pennsylvania with Priscilla's team. It was wonderful. Oh. Megan, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am doing great. Have you had a good weekend?
I have. Have you?
Yes, it's been wonderful.
When
Yep,
did you
I
get
was
back?
with, pardon me?
When did you get back?
I got back last night. Heather was gracious enough to get me a flight that went out yesterday evening instead of today. And then the one that was supposed to be on today, it actually got canceled. So I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody upstairs was looking out for me. Yes.
Good.
Especially after the fiasco I had. Well, it wasn't really a fiasco, but the scenario I had with coming back from your home with the American Airlines lady. Oh my gosh. I did hear back from American Airlines.
You did it or you did?
I did. They apologized.
I'm
They
sure.
said, we're so sorry. And they thanked me for letting them know and for letting them know about that nice gentleman that stepped in and helped me. So, and anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so what have you been up to today? Is it nice there?
Oh yeah, I've still got my bathing suit on under my dress, but
No
yeah.
way. Oh my gosh. We had an open house today. So it was crazy trying to get it ready. But it's 74 degrees here.
Yeah, it was 80.
Yeah.
It was 80 here today, so it was nice.
Yeah. Sunny though? You had sunny weather?
Oh yeah, very. Yep.
Good. Good. All right. Hey Anna. Anna's watching. We've got quite a few people joining us already. Good, good, good. Let me see what time it is. Oops, I don't have my computer on. What time do you have, Meg? I don't even have my watch on.
I don't either.
Okay, that's okay. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started. Emma says hi, Kathy and Megan, and Kimberly's watching us.
Hi.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on a Sunday night. I know typically this is your family night. However, it was the most convenient time for me and for Megan. So I wanted to make sure we had the opportunity to share some of the conversation that we had last weekend with each of you, and see if you can take some of the ideas and use them to finish your February really strong. So Megan, do you want to start out with what some of the things that we talked about and how it's working out for you?
Yeah, so we talked last week about doing like a My Favorite Things giveaway with my VIP group. And we talked about, different strategies of where to post and all of that. So what we came down to is that I was going to do a live video in my customer group explaining this My Favorite Things. And basically, I just explained that this was the month of love. I loved giving back. They know that I already push fundraisers a lot during this month too, but I wanted to do something for my customers specifically. And it's the last month for the incentive trip, so I definitely needed a little bit of a push for that. But I did share that we had the discounted product, so it was also a great time for them to share me with their friends. And Kathy, my customer group, I share a lot more than just lemongrass. It's a natural living type page. So I'm always sharing things about cooking. And so I mentioned to them that I was going to be doing a weekly drawing for My Favorite Things. Some of those were going to be Pampered Chef products because I do a lot of cooking. Some of those just were going to be like the local teas and things that I love about St. Augustine. And that for the jackpot, everyone that decided to host would get in this weekly drawing. And so if they get in the first week, if they decide the first week to go ahead and pick a date to host, they're in each weekly drawing for the rest of the month. So that was kind of the push to get them to go ahead and get on board. So I posted that in there and then told them that once each workshop reached $600 in sales, they would go into a pot to get, and then I picked up like my Instapot to show them that I was going to do a drawing for an Instapot. I mean, they see on my page that I use mine all the time for things. I post things about them. So that's something that was completely on point with what I wanted to do. So I posted that in my group, and I got a lot of stuff off of it. And then I posted the next day. I just made a graphic that said my favorite things, posted it on my page, telling them what I was doing in the group, that I would be giving an Instant Pot away. I haven't even circled back to all of the people that showed interest and I tagged in the video, because I've already got 18 Facebook parties this week. So, yeah. We'll get that.
So, I know, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I back up a little bit? Let's do a little bit of a rewind. Because when Meg and I were talking, the reason why this idea came up between Meg and I, besides the fact that, well, she was needing some extra sales for the incentive trip, but I've been watching Meg's customer group and how she posts in there, and as she indicated, she posts a lot of things about her life journey. She posts about her kids, potty training. She will post about a recipe that she's trying. She's she makes things from scratch. She cooks and bakes from scratch, cinnamon rolls, etc. So when we started to brainstorm about what she could do for sales, it seemed to make sense that she would pick the things that they're familiar with as far as part of her life, and she would decide that because they're her favorite things, she would share those favorite things with her customers that wanted to help her on this journey to close out her month. So the idea at first was to see how many Facebook parties we could get, because May could not, this month it was totally, her month is closed as far as the amount of in-home parties she could do. So she was only able to offer Facebook parties, virtual parties. So we talked about her being able to give something as significant as the Instapot, and so we got the level of $600. Isn't that how we came up to that $600? Right. We took what her commission would be on that $600 party, and said, okay, every individual that decided they wanted to do a virtual party with her this month, their name would go in a drawing once their party sales reached $600. Not if. Once they reached $600, they would be entered into that Instapot drawing. Now, the other thing I think that drove this, if I'm not mistaken, is the fact that there were the clearance items, the discounted items, is what got the interest from individuals in the customer group, because like all of you should be doing, this is the last chance your customers have to buy the things that are seasonal, that are not going to be added to the new spring catalog. And you guys might be thinking to yourself, well, they'll come back next fall and winter. I don't know. Do you know they will? Because I don't know they will. So I would assume that they're not coming back, because if they don't come back and you don't let your customers know that this might be the last chance that they get the Midnight Orchid and the Candy Cane and the pomegranate, isn't that the other product, the other scent? This might be their last chance to get these collections. So that's kind of why that's kind of the idea blossomed from the fact that, Megan, just let them know that this is the opportunity for them to have one last opportunity, one last chance to shop from these discontinued items and offer them to their friends. So it's one thing, guys, for you to offer it to your customers, but you have to remember that you have a customer that you're talking to, just like I'm talking to Megan. Behind your customer is 20 people that you have no idea if they want to also have the opportunity to shop from these clearance items. So that's what Megan and I started with, is getting as many people that wanted to do a virtual party to share the clearance, the discounted items with their friends. So that's really what kind of started this whole idea about the Instapot. And then we thought, well, you know what? Why don't we just treat everybody that is going to do a party to more of an instant gift. So we decided every Friday, Meg's going to take one of her favorite products, and like I knew she loved Pampered Chef, so I got into her cupboards. I started looking at her cupboards. I'm like, oh my gosh, here's your nonstick cooling rack, and here's your ice cream dipper. I mean, she had so many things in her kitchen that were Pampered Chef. I said, Megan, just think about offering them one of those favorite items on Friday. You're gonna raffle it. You're gonna draw, not raffle it. You're gonna draw from those hosts that are participating. So they didn't have to wait to the end of the month to see who won the Instapot. Every week, somebody would win. Have a drawing. Somebody would win one of her favorite things: teas, Pampered Chef products, etc. And of course, the group got larger because she keeps getting more people interested in doing a virtual party. So what did you draw this last Friday? I don't think I saw that.
No, I told them they had until Sunday to Friday to pick a date. And then I got all the Facebook parties started up Friday, and from Friday until tonight at 9, they had opportunities to get extra entry. So it was going ahead and sending all their Facebook invites out, private messaging their guests, posting on their wall, a testimonial or something about lemongrass to get interest in their parties. So yeah, the drawing is going to be in about an hour. For the first
now, did they? And I know we talked about this, but did they have different ways to add more entries into the Friday drawing?
It was on a time frame, since I'm starting all the Facebook parties at the same time. We did the pre-party, like the Leslie Facebook training, and the big push was to get their people to mark going. So that's what I've done so far. Yeah.
And now I saw on your personal page where you made that announcement, like you said, you had 59 people comment that wanted to go into your customer group to learn. And it's not necessarily that they're all going to be virtual parties with you, but there was an interest there that said, what's going on in that group? I've got to learn more, right? So you had 59 people the last time I saw that wanted to be part of. They wanted to see what was going on. They wanted to be in that group, correct?
Right. Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, that is great. Now, so I think what I wanted everyone to listen to is a couple things. First of all, making sure that you are using those discontinued clearance items. I don't like the word clearance, that's just me. But using those items that are being discontinued to let everyone have the opportunity not only to shop, but to say, oh, you mean I can get some shopping cash if I share these products with my friends and let them know this will be the last time that they'll be able to order from your summer your winter catalog, and then giving them the opportunity, as if they like, because they're going to be doing virtual parties, to give them the opportunity to earn some treats as your host. Now, you don't have to do the Instapot like Megan is, but we figured out it's a very small percent of what you're making, because they're reaching the 600 and then getting their name into the Instapot pot. And so yeah, you're gonna, I forget what the math, and when we sat down, it was really late at night when we were doing this, but we sat down and did the math, and it was really
one $600 party would more than pay for an Instant Pot. So yeah,
and they have to get to the 600 level to be able to get their name into the Instapot.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So how many parties do you have going on already?
18.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I've been in Margo for a lot. I've been doing a lot of Margo. Yeah.
And do you have more people that you have to follow up with?
I have a lot more people that I have to follow up with. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I decided not to get too anxious about all the people that asked to be tagged in the video. I added them to my group tagged into the information video, and I haven't gone back to all of them and said, did you see the information? Did you want me to put you on for next week? But I'm about to go do that video in my customer group to do the first weekly giveaway.
Drawing.
So I think that's gonna increase even more interest also.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So Karen said, Megan, are you not doing a live portion then for your Facebook shows?
We talked about this, and because there was such a huge interest, yeah, I did say that these would be 3-day shows, so we are cutting them down, and I think a lot of people saw that since it was going to be a smaller time frame. I mean, it's not start to finish 3 days, but there are 3 days of being engaged and posting. So like the first day is going to be in information and skincare. The second day will be makeup talk, and the third day will be like essential oils. So I do a lot of hands-on stuff. So I'm not going to be going in live in all of these tomorrow. I'm going to do pre-recorded videos and then just have Margot post those on each day that they need to be posted.
Yeah. Yeah. And typically she does. We talked about this before, and we thought for this particular round of virtual parties that it wasn't necessary for her to go live, because this is just, these are 3 days, and they're already her customers that have done, you know, seen her live, because you go live a lot in your customer group.
Right.
I mean, you go live with what you're making, you go live with your kids and things like that. So, so Karen, that's what she decided to do. And Karen asked how many people customers you have in your group.
I think at the start of this week, close to 350, and I think I'm almost at 400.
Yeah.
Around 400 now.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things to keep in mind, guys, is having a large group isn't always, it's like having a large party. It's not always that beneficial, because sometimes it's hard for people to get noticed. And they're like, oh, you know, I'm not going to bother. She's got enough people commenting. And it's the same thing when you're doing a live party, an in-home party. If a lot of people are talking, some people just sit back and say, oh, you know, she's going to be fine. And same with ordering. Oh, she's got a large group of people here. She's going to get plenty of orders. So again, the key is to make that connection with those customers on a regular basis, like Megan does. And then again, when she posted it on her personal wall, and I saw, you know, again, she probably has more than now, but
that's where most of them came from. A lot of these are repeat hosts that I've already had, but a lot of them are people that weren't even in my customer group before. So yeah.
Love that. And I'm so glad you clarified that. Yeah, because, and again, so if you're not telling, and she told a story, and I posted it for you guys in the community group, and then with the Coffee with Kathy, and I would have put it over in the leader group also. That was a story that she told on her personal page to invite people to take a closer look if they were interested, and let her know if they wanted to know what was going on. It was more of, if you're curious, come on over. So, so I'm so happy that you said that a lot of these individuals are new ones that you've added to it. Good.
Yeah, and I think another thing too, which we talked about this, is not overly using host and party a lot. I mean, so it's called a workshop, and all of the language that we have in there is about a natural living workshop. And I'm going to be talking about things that have to do with more than just lemongrass. So that seems to be a huge thing for me in my group.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting, Megan, because when I was with Priscilla's group this past weekend, that's one of the things that I encourage them to do, is try to have more of a conversation versus using phrases or words that are indicative of, we're in direct sales, so we would use the word booking.
Right.
We're in direct sales, so we would use the word hosting. So I, you know, encourage everybody to say, why don't you get a few friends together, allow them to shop from the items that we're not going to be carrying forward in our spring catalog. And gosh, who knows, you might have some shopping cash for your personal order. So you don't say you could host it, why don't you book? And I mean, it's a conversation, and that's what seems to attract more interest, is when you have those conversations versus using the phrases that just, it attaches us to direct sales. And and I'm not saying be embarrassed by the fact that you work in direct sales at all. However, I think it's also, you've got to step aside and say, you know, what are some of the things that, you know, label me as, you know, as everybody else that works in direct sales, and I want to shed that label, remove that label, and I want to be someone that offers individuals the opportunity to do this and this and this. And what better way to find out who they are than somebody that is one of my customers, and giving her the option to invite some of her friends, right, you know, and learn and shop and browse, etc. So yeah, so I think that's one of the things that I can't encourage you guys enough is to get away from the P word, the party word, get away from the B word, the booking word, even get away from the host word, and just, you know, talk to someone as though they're an individual, that you know they have friends, that you know you have things that you can offer them if they want to also bring their friends into the event, the workshop, and the class. And it just becomes more of what we really do, because we create teachable moments. And as soon as you can embrace that and you're proud of it, then it no longer becomes a Facebook party or a booking or somebody that hosts. It's that type of relationship and experience that you're offering because you can, because you're a consultant with Lemongrass Spa. Yep. Perfect.
I actually had a customer on that note, Kathy, that called me this past week that said, you know, I needed to go grocery shopping, and you did a video in your customer group of what you buy at Aldi and what you've already researched, and like what are good quality things to get at Aldi. And so I just had you watching your video while I was going through Aldi, throwing things in my cart. And by the way, I saw that Instant Pot post you did. I want to do one of those. I want to do one of those workshops too. So yeah, little things like that have been huge.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I thought that customer toolbox group was so important, guys, is because, you know, a lot of us may not know what to post, how to post, when to post, etc. So make sure you're in that customer toolbox group. There's lots of information, videos, posts, albums, etc. And it will take you on the journey that a lot of those that like Megan is already, you know, experiencing and already starting, where, you know, you're more than just, you know, somebody that sells Lemongrass Spa. You're someone that has a life that is learning to live and eat healthy. And I mean, I just posted something about taking your shoes off when you go into a house, how many toxins you bring in, and why you want to remove your shoes. I mean, that's huge to be able to, I mean, I didn't know that. So that's huge to be able to teach your customers that also. Yep. Oh, Bethany's there. Hey, Bethany. Oh my gosh. Yep. Hey, girl. Okay. Do we have any other questions that we need to answer before we sign off? Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, you're welcome, Karen. Karen had asked before about having some ideas for the incentive trip, and this is not only for those of you that are not going on the incentive trip. Maybe you came in a little bit late to the company, or just, you know, decided that it wasn't in your plan this year. This is gonna end your month strong and create a really strong March, because all these new customers that Megan is getting as a result of the orders coming in are all customers that she's going to thank for the order, and then say, you know, when we have a new catalog coming out in a couple of weeks, would you like me to send you one? And then she's going to keep a list of the individuals that she's now got on, you know, that they're counting on her to have that mail carrier deliver that catalog to their mailbox. And then she will offer them the opportunity to, depending on where they live, to do an in-home experience with their friends to unveil the new spring line, or they'll do a virtual class where she will send samples and they will be able to experience it while she's going live in her Facebook group. So her Facebook event. So again, these are all new business. This is all new business for you guys when you have well, when you really touch base with anybody. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, anything else that you want to say? I was going to scroll, but I'm going to stop scrolling. Anything else, Megan?
I don't think so. I think that was it.
Well, no doubt you're going to be going on that trip.
I will be on the trip.
Yes, you will be on the trip. And that was the goal. That was the goal, is to come up with the way for you to push the last few weeks here. And then the more we talked about it, the more I kept thinking, oh my gosh, we need to make sure the company knows about this idea, because it doesn't matter what your favorite things are. Hers are Pampered Chef and teas and all that kind of things. But really, it's just rewarding your customers and allowing new customers, allowing new individuals to become your new customers. I mean, that's really what's happening here. You know, Megan's rewarding them, and I love the fact that every Friday they get something, because they don't have to wait to the end of the month. And I love the fact that Instapot is going to be, oh my gosh, they're going to absolutely just love it, right? Yeah. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Good. It is exciting. Well, good. Megan, thank you so much. And thanks for allowing me to be part of your brainstorming idea. I loved it.
Of course, you are brainstorming.
All right, guys. Well, listen, have a great rest of your night, and you'll hear all the results, I'm sure, one way or another. But if you need additional help, get on my calendar, and I'll be glad to help you fine tune the rest of your month and make it really full of love. Yep.
Thanks, Kathy.
All right. Okay. Bye. Thanks again, Meg.
Bye.
Bye.